Good morning, true crime friend. Listen, I normally do not cover these kinds of cases, right? So when I saw this cold case about SA, intimate partner assault, whatever, the YouTubes does not like certain words, and so it's hard to cover them. And so instead of saying like the real word, I'm just going to say SA. I think you can figure out. Use your context clues. Go on, use your context clues. Anyway. So I don't usually cover those kind of cases because ew, no, I can't do it. So I was just like, okay, I saw this old cold case, fine. It was like a child and the babysitter were both, their lives were ended. The whole thing was terrible and I was not going to cover it. Oh, and then I saw the accused. Also, I saw that he got convicted and that made me very happy. So I was like, let me just find out a little bit more now that I know this monster is going to go to prison. Ciao. You don't even know. So over there on Court TV, of course, they had all the footage, but I don't got that kind of free time. So I was like, let me just watch these little clips. So the information that I'm about to give you is based solely on partial information. This I fully understand, but you're not here for news. You're here for gossip and opinion. So listen, this is a gossip and opinion about this case, the state of Florida versus Zieler. So back in 1990, this dude randomly, I don't even know how he chose this house. He broke in a house and he was going to rob the house. And then he realized there was an 11-year-old girl and a babysitter there. Okay, turns out the babysitter was a roommate, had just moved in. She was only going to live there for a few weeks and then she was going to go off and get married. She moved in with her girlfriend. And the girlfriend was like, I'm going to go out with my boyfriend for tonight. Can you watch my 11-year-old daughter? And, I don't remember nobody's name. But so the babysitter was like, yeah, that's fine. Go have a good time. So the mom goes out. She ends up falling asleep at the boyfriend's house, comes home, finds everybody dead. So, of course, this is shocking. This is her child. And it's clear that they have been assaulted by the positions they were in. They're suffocated, whatever. And so, of course, the mother's hysterical. It's a horrible situation. And then for 28 years, something like that. This case happened in 1990. They can't find anybody. They don't know what happened. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of my worst nightmare. So, I don't need to know no more about this case. But then, Florida has a law that says if you get arrested for anything, they can take your DNA. So this dude, Joseph Zeiler, whatever his name is, he is not worthy of having his name in my memory, God knows. So he got into some sort of altercation with his son and got arrested, like on a domestic violence type situation. So they take him in, he gets arrested, he goes through whatever process he's going to go to, but they take his DNA. And so the cold case people were like, what are we going to do today? We got some random DNA. Let's just test this DNA. So they ran his DNA and they were like, hold the phone. This DNA matches this old case that we had no clue on. We had no idea. Nobody in the family was suspected. They didn't know where they were going to find who did this case. This random DNA sample that they took from this random dude turns up as a match. This man's DNA was found inside both this 11-year-old girl. They should have just took him out and shot him on the spot, honestly. My opinion. But, they don't do that because laws. Anyway, so they find the DNA inside these two poor victims. And so, of course, they were like, let's go on the computer and see who this person is. And so they go knock, knock, knock. Hello, sir. Why don't you just come on down here to the precinct and have a little chat with us for a minute? So they end up arresting him. And now he's come to trial. First of all, I have many, many thoughts on this human, if you can call him that. He's horrible. And this is not about people's looks, but this man in the moisturizer, y'all got moisturizer? He didn't wash his face. He looked like he didn't bathe on a regular basis. Just everything about him looked gross and disgusting and greasy and yuck. He looked just this side of homeless. So I was like, yeah, that's about right. Just terrible human being. But he has been living with his girlfriend he lived with his girlfriend for 26 years. The same month in which he committed this crime, he met this lady at a bar and they moved in together. He was basically homeless when they met. Ladies, listen, I know this happened back in 1990. I was still in college in 1990. I'm going to need everybody to raise their standards. If you're meeting a dude and he don't have a place to live, He's not for you. Listen, I don't care if he's a gazillionaire. I don't care if he's homeless. He's not for you. Let that man get his life together. But I was like, okay, I can't judge this woman back from 1990 because the things I was doing back in 1990, let's just say I am happy that there was not Instagram and all these other sort of things because I was a very different young woman back then. I might have been a little loose and a little crazy and a little alcohol obsessed. Anyway, I was very much a liquor enthusiast. Oh, not just liquor with an A. So this lady hooks up with this dude. They stay together for 26 years, and 26 years look like he ain't getting no better because he was still looking homeless in that mugshot that they took just a couple years ago. So they find the dude. And so this idiot was like, oh, my DNA is there? Oh, no, that's probably not me, sir. The chances of it being somebody else was like, the chances of them actually finding a hit on this DNA was like 1 in 87 kajillion, something like that. A huge number. So he was like, oh, but that could have been my father or one of my brothers. Sir, it was you. I'm going to need you to accept that it was you. He was in a great deal of denial. And so against his lawyer's advice, he decided to take the stand. Okay, sure. Go on up there and hang yourself a little bit more. No problem at all. I got no problem at all with this. His behavior was so poor on the stand that the judge had to send the jury out and reprimand him. And I was like, well, now I'm in. Now I want to know everything. Go on up there and show your behind, sir, because I want to see how truly foolish you are. Number one, he had on a suit in court. Okay, that's great. Then the accused should look nice so they don't look guilty when you show up in your bright orange jumpsuit or the stripes that says, county of wherever. So he gets up on the stand and he has a decent haircut, okay, with the most amazing comb over I have ever seen in my life. He had if he was black, we would call it a half fro. The George Jefferson, where it's just some hair on the side and nothing on the top. Whole top is just slick and shiny. So you should have just shaved your whole head and gone with bald because he was looking crazy. So he parts his little hair back here in the back and lets one piece grow real long and combs it over like this. Only it's not long enough to cover all of it, so he more combs it over like this. And then he must have run his hands through his head or did something else because the comb over was sticking up like this. I was like, what is it? Did a bird land on your head? Sir, I know you're in Florida and there's a lot of wildlife, but they should probably keep the wildlife off your head, especially if you're about to be in court. Okay, and then he had some skulls tattooed around his wrist. Fine, no shade to our tattooed friends, but Court TV was so shady. They just kept his sleeve pulled up a little bit. His whole testimony, they spent zooming in on the skulls on his wrist. Okay, Court TV, we see you and we appreciate the shade. So he gets up there and the attorneys asked him questions and he basically was like, it wasn't me. It could have been my father, could have been my dad. DNA, what do I know about DNA? Sir, clearly you don't know anything about anything. You don't know anything about hair. You probably don't know nothing about brushing your teeth or taking a good shower. You confused on all fronts. So he gets up there and he's talking, blah, blah, blah. And then his attorney was like, there's some things this fool wants to say that I can't, I'm an officer of the court. I'm not trying to lie or support this idiot in lying. So he's just going to have a narrative now. And the judge was like, okay, do you, boo? That's not exactly what the judge said, but that's the spirit of what he said. So this dude gets up on the stand. And he was like, it wasn't me. I look at these pictures and I see the girl had a handful of blonde hair. My hair is not blonde, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, sir, you appear a little bit unhinged and good because that's going to make it real easy for us to convict you. And they said, well, the attorney was like, well, how would your DNA have gotten there? And he was like, well, I visited that county 5 months before. And I think I had an affair with the girl's mama, and she's a pig, and she probably didn't wash her sheets for 5 months, sir. So maybe nobody told you. The thing that you're supposed to do is to try and get people on your side. You're not that smart. You're not. It's listen, if you have a lot of education, a charming personality, or good looking, there are things that can make a jury forget a lot of things. If you're famous, you tend to get off on crimes. If you look nice, people will give you more of a chance. But you show up with a bird on your head, talking crazy, and calling the victim's mother a pig. That's not going to go good for you. And he just started ranting and raving, all kinds of facts not in evidence. So the judge sends the jury out and was like, never in my life have I had to deal with an idiot as big as you. The judge was so mad, and I was living for it. And apparently, after this dude was arrested, him and his brilliance, he wrote his girlfriend a letter like, listen, I stopped doing terrible things to random strangers when I met you, so we should be good now, right? And the girlfriend was like, nah. Shout out to the girlfriend for breaking up with him, because you and I both know people who have partnered with people who were horrific in life, horrific for them, and they just made excuses. This girlfriend was like, nah, boo, it's a lot of things he was doing wrong, a lot of things that drove her crazy. And when he got arrested, she was like, and that is the straw that breaks the camel's back. For me, it would have taken a lot less than that. First of all, the fact that he ain't look clean, you can't be over here and just have yourself looking all crazy, pimples on your head. Dude, if you have pimples on your head, you're bald head, and you're 15, okay, that happens. You in your 60s. Like, that just is an indication to me that you're not going to the doctor, you're not taking good baths. Clearly, you're not using shampoo. Do you even know what shampoo is? Because you can just rub a bar of soap on your head and get rid of some of that greasy, disgusting mess that's happening. Anyway, this trash human was found guilty in record time, from what I could tell. The jury went out, and then I think the jury just came right back in. They probably voted him guilty on the first round. That DNA, and then his behavior in court, he's going to prison for a long, long time. And I'm not sad about it. Not at all. He was offered a plea deal. They were like, listen, we'll take the death penalty off the table if you take this plea deal. And he was like, no, I am innocent. I am going to go to trial. Okay, sir. They made quick work of you behind. 2 days. 2 days this trial lasted, and the jury was not even out half a day. They probably didn't even get lunch. Like, they were like, I don't even need that chicken sandwich. Nah. You keep your Chick-fil-A. We're going to send this food to prison forever and ever, and I'm going to buy my own Chick-fil-A with the curly fries or the spicy fries. I've never had Chick-fil-A. I don't know what kind of fries they have. Heard their chicken is good, though. What do I know? Anyway. So that idiot is gone off to prison, and I am not sad about it. There's another case that I was like, I don't know if I'm going to follow that one. But then it started being interesting. And some of y'all mentioned it down in the comments. The state of Georgia versus that dude who killed his mama. Now, that is not what Court TV is calling it. That is what I am calling it. I'll figure out his name eventually. Merritt, something like that. This guy was an attorney. You would think an attorney would know better, but clearly not. I mean, trash humans come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. And this human was clearly a trash human. So he was a lawyer, got convicted of I don't know what, because like I said, I haven't read that much up on the case. And he was supposed to report to jail. Okay, so his mom got up early, like I do. She was an early riser. She made him breakfast in anticipation of his trotting himself off to jail. And then he killed her by bludgeoning her over the head with the barbell. Sir, no. You can't kill your mama. You can't kill your mama. Even if you had a trash mama, if your mama was a horrible, horrible human being, you know what you do? You take distance. You don't send her Mother's Day cards. You stop speaking to her. That's how that works. Some people think all mothers are like sacred and amazing and whatever. Well, Lori Vallow has proved that not all mothers are wonderful. Lori Vallow was trash, a trash human being. Will the YouTubes allow me to say that? Listen, YouTube, y'all gonna do what you're gonna do. But Lori Vallow, a trash human being. This dude's mama, on the strength that she got up early and made him eggs, and he killed her. He's trash in that case. So, as a mother of sons, who I hope don't kill me, is somebody behind me? Ooh, like, okay, Anyway, I'm getting up early this morning, and I'm gonna make my sons chicken and dumplings, because number one, that's something that I know they really like. Number two, I'm gonna be out doing some volunteer work this evening, and then that will be their dinner, so it'll all be ready. Whenever they're ready to eat, they can just eat it. And number three, it's soft. Even if they just eat like the dumplings, my baby who had the oral surgery, he can enjoy himself a nice dumpling and maybe a little bit of chicken if he cuts it up real small. Anyway, Oh, by the way, he's doing fine. I spoke to him a little bit last night and he's doing good. He's not in any pain. I am in pain emotionally from seeing my baby have, have your kids ever had surgery? Oh God. Oh God. Listen, I would rather me have surgery all day, every day, than to see one of my babies have a tooth extraction. And in this case, he had 4 teeth extracted and they had trouble getting them out. Those teeth were so long. I was like, I've seen kids get their teeth, but like a little baby tooth, whatever. These roots were like this big. And one of them, I looked away because, I couldn't take it. My heart is bad. And all I saw was the tooth fly out of his mouth and land on the floor. I was like, oh, I guess he had to use a little force to get that one out. Meanwhile, my child's just laying there like he's getting a spa treatment, eyes closed and everything. So he came home, he took his little Tylenol, went to sleep, and then he got up and did some artwork. My artist son. He was up doing artwork last night. I was the one having palpitations. I had to go to the gym to calm down. Anyway. Everybody over here in the GRI house, the Gossip Rumor and Innuendo house, we are doing fine. We are doing lovely. I am going to do some more research on the state of Georgia versus the man who killed his mama. And then I'm going to report back. It's Friday. It is the weekend. What are you doing for the weekend? I hope you're doing something good. I think the weather here is supposed to be really nice. Oh, and I finally took pictures of my blueberries. I'm going to post those over in the community tab because I've been talking about these blueberries. I got this blueberry plant at the Lidl. Y'all know about Lidl. If you know anything about this channel, you know about, I love Lidl. Lidl is I don't think they have Lidls all over. It's a European supermarket. It's spelled Lidl, but it's pronounced Lidl. Lidl sells, it's like Aldi, like Aldi's cousin, with the self-checkout. Child, I love a self-checkout. I just do not, you know what? My mother, some of my cousins or whatever, and them, they're like, oh, I hate a self-checkout. I love a self-checkout because while I'm super chatty at, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is here. Oh, I'm super chatty early in the morning talking to you, my little YouTube friends. But out in the real world, my general sentiment about other human beings, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. You don't know me. You don't know me like that. Leave me alone. Although, I'm friendly to people I know. I'm actually friendly to strangers unless they look suspicious. And then I give them a lot of side eye. But if I'm in the supermarket, I have a nice relaxing murder podcast on. I push them a little buggy out, picking up the things I want, finding the best prices, listening to my episode of Dateline. Don't talk to me. And the cashier, she could be quiet too. They could just like muzzle her. Just scan my card. Don't ask me no questions. Leave me alone. I want to bag my own groceries, so I love a self-checkout. And Lidl has a good self-checkout. They also have really good blueberries that are just like grown. They're in this, they don't grow them in the store, but like they sell them in the store. Blueberries and blackberries, not that expensive and delicious. Well, the other day I was in the Lidl, not the Lidl by my house, the Lidl out by my sister-in-law's house, and they had blueberry plants that already had buds on them. And I was like, oh, these about to be berries in any second now. So I bought a blueberry plant and I planted it in a pot because it said it was good for a container. And I was like, that is perfect for my little garden deck, whatever you want to call it. So, and then I was like, doing my research as one does. It turns out blueberries do better if they have a friend. So you have to put 2 blueberry plants together and then they like procreate. I don't know what they do, but it's a self-fruiting plant. So it can like make fruit on its own, but you get more blueberries and better blueberries and bigger blueberries if you put another plant with it. So then I couldn't find any more blueberry plants and the Lidl was out of the blueberry plants because I figure if Lidl sells delicious organic blueberries, which I use to make blueberry muffins, y'all know all about the blueberry muffins. I talked about it. But Lidl didn't have any more. If they sell good grown blueberries, I figured they would have amazing blueberry plants, but everybody thought that and they sold out. So I've been looking high and low for more blueberry plants. And then I found 2 blueberry plants and then I put them in the ground, but they're just little sticks. Turns out it takes like 3 years for blueberry plants to give you good blueberries. So I needed some mature blueberry plants and I found Home Depot, Lowe's, I don't know. Somebody was selling them. And so finally, now I have like 5 blueberry plants because, I'm extra even in my shopping. But they were cheap because a girl likes to pinch a penny. So got all my blueberry plants planted, and they're in there. I put them in a great big, I build things, right? So my kids used to have this toy box that I made because I couldn't find a toy box that was big enough to hold all their crap, and I was tired of having it all over my house. So I made them this big giant wooden toy box. Well, now my baby is 15 and the other ones are 19 and 25 and 33. So they don't need a toy box. So I turned their old wooden toy box into a flower bed. It's a big flower bed. It's sitting out there on my deck. So I put some straw in it, whatever, put some dirt. Now it's full of blueberries. So it used to be old and now it's new again and has the blueberries in it. So all of that to say, I finally found some blueberries from Melita Blueberries. So Melita Blueberry plant has friends, and now my plan is to have zillions of blueberries. I don't know how many blueberries I'm actually gonna get, but I'm doing my level best. I'm just rambling on about nothing this morning. All right, wait. Oh, 20 minutes. Sweet Jesus. It's going to take 3 hours for this video to upload. All right, I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to go and do some more research on the case of the ridiculous dude who killed his mama, and I'm going to report back. Y'all have a great day. Bye.